So today start with the new topic, that is measure of dispersion. Dispersion. Dispersion refers to the variation of the item among themselves around an average. Greater the variation among different items of a series, the more will be the dispersion as per the bullet. Dispersion is a measure of the variation of an item. So the various measure of standard tendency or average discussed in the previous chapter give us only one single figure that represents the entire started data. On the other hand, measure of dispersion help us to study the variability of the item, that is, extent to which the item vary from one another from the center value. So, in the other hand, dispersion is a measure of the variation of the item. Dispersion is a measure of the extent to which the individual items vary. So basically, dispersion helps us to study the variability of the items, which is the item vary from one another from the central value. On the other hand, some objectives of the measure of dispersion. So to determine the reliability of an average. The measure of dispersion has to determine the reliability of the average. It points out how far an average is representative to the statistical series. If the dispersion is small, the average will closely represent the individual value and it is highly representative. On the other hand, if the dispersion is large, the average will be quite unreliable. So second is to compare the variability of two or more series. The measure of dispersion helps in comparing the variability of two or more series. It also helpful and useful to determine the uniformity or consistency of two or more series. A high degree of variation would mean less consistency or less uniformity as compared to the data having the less variation. On the other hand, third objective is for facilities use of other statistical measures. Measure of dispersion serves the basis of any other statistical measure such as correlation, regression, test of hypotheses with type first and type second, etc. and vice versa. These measures are based on a measure of variation of one kind or another. Now, fourth objective of the measure of dispersion is basis of the statistical quality control. The mean of the dispersion is basis of the statistical quality control. The dispersion gives indication to management as to whether the variation of the quality of the product is due to random factor or there is some defect in the manufacturing process. So this is the objective of the measure of dispersion. On the other hand, some properties of the good measure of dispersion. A good measure of dispersion should these properties helpful to the find out the variation in a dispersion. So first of all, it should be easy to understand. It should be simple to calculate. It should be unequally defined. It is based on the all observation or steady values. It should be unduly affected by the same item. It should be capable of further algebraic treatment also. On the other hand, second thing is that measure of dispersion can be classified into two observations, absolute and relative measure of dispersion. First of all, absolute or relative. First one is absolute measure of dispersion is that dispersion is expressed in the term unit in which data series are expressed. They are expressed in same and statistical units like rupees, kilograms, ton, year and centimeter. On the other hand, relative measure of dispersion refers to variability stated in form of ratio or percentages. Thus, relative measure of dispersion is independent unit of the measure. It is also called the coefficient of dispersion. Basically, this measure are used to compare the two series expressed in a different unit. So, this is called the absolute or relative measure of dispersion. On the other hand, method of the measure of dispersion. Basically, these methods related to the measure of dispersion. So first one is range, interquartile range, mean deviation, standard deviation, coefficient of variation, Lorentz curve. So first of all, range. What is the range? The simplest measure of dispersion, it is defined as a difference between largest and the smallest value in the series. So, range is the simplest measure of dispersion. Basically, it is defined the difference between largest and smallest value in the series. R means range is equal to largest value minus smallest value. This is the formula of range. R is equal to range, L is equal to largest value, and S is equal to smallest value. Basically, also define the coefficient of range is equal to L minus S over L plus S. This is the coefficient of range. Now, start with the example showing in the blackboard. So, start with this example, that is first one with series. Second is discrete series. Third one is continuous series. So first of all, we start with the first series, that is individual series. So this is the series of the range. Basically, individual series, we know that range is a simplest measure of dispersion. In the individual series, first of all, find the formula. R is equal to L minus S. So this is the formula of range. R is equal to, R is the range, L is equal to largest value, and S is the smallest value. So basically this is the individual series of the measure of tendency, range. So this is the formula of range in the individual series. So now for the example, first of all, example of basically 5 students obtain the following marks in statistics. So now that is 20, 35, 25, 30. So this is the value of individual series. So now solution is, first of all, here we find out the largest value and smallest value in the equation. So largest value in the equation is 35 and the smallest value in the series is 50. So first of all, we find out the range. Range is equal to L minus S. So R is equal to, largest value is 35 and the smallest value is 15. So after the minus of 35 minus 15, and the range of this is 20. So this is the range. So now find out the coefficient of range. The formula of L minus S, L plus S. This is the formula of coefficient of range. So In the other hand, largest value is 35 and smallest value is 15. So 35 plus 15. 35 minus 15 is equal to 20. 35 plus 15 is equal to 50. So this is the coefficient of range. And the answer of the coefficient of range is 2 divided by 5. So this is the answer of individual cell. So now let's start with the new series, that is discrete series. For the new example, example is find the range and coefficient of range from the following data. And the question is mass and the number of students. Ten, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 and 70. Number of students 15, 18, 25, 30, 16, 10 and 9. As we know that mass denoted with the value of x and the number of observation denoted with the value of f in the discrete series. So after we find out the firstly range, and the formula is largest value minus smallest value. First of all, we find the largest value in the x-axis. Largest value in the x-axis, that is 70. Minus smallest value in the x-series, that is 10. So answer is 16. So now find out the coefficient of range. So coefficient of range and the formula of L minus S and plus S. So first of all 70 minus 10, 70 plus 10. So that is 60 and 70 minus 10, that is, sorry, 70 plus 10 is equal to 80. So after this, 6 divided by 8. So range answer is 60 and the coefficient of range is equal to 3 divided by 4. This is the answer. This is a discrete series. So now let's start with the continuity. So first of all, continuous series. find out the range and coefficient of range in the continuous series. This is the third series of the range. So now size. 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, and 25 to 30. So now, other hand, frequency. Frequency means F value. So size is denoted with the value of X. So frequency is 4, 9, 15, 30, and 40. So this is the frequency. So after this, we find out the range. L minus L. So first of all, find out the largest value. First of all, largest value in the X series. That is, largest value in the series 30 and the smallest value 5. So first of all, largest value, upper limit of largest value is 30 minus smallest value in the lower limit, that is 5. And the answer is 25. This is the answer of range. On the other hand, coefficient of range. The formula is L minus L and L plus L. So 30 minus 5 and 30 plus 5. 25 and 35. 25 divided by 35. So now this is a range and the coefficient of range 5 divided by 10. This is the answer. So this is the third series of continuous series. And now basically in individual series, discrete series and continuous series related to the range. First of all, in the individual series, we find out the individual value. On the other hand, discrete series, we find out the X value and frequency. On the third series, continuous series, we find out the class interval denoted with the X value and frequency. The range L minus L, largest value minus smallest value, and the coefficient of range is L minus L divided by L plus F, largest value minus smallest value, largest value plus smallest value. After this, we find out the answer of range and coefficient of range. So, as we know, some other merit and demerits of range. Because of it is simply to understand, it is simply to calculate, and also it is widely used in statistical quality. It should be based on the all extreme values. Basically, it cannot be calculated in case of open and series. So on the other hand, it is not based on the all observation of the series. It is affected by the extreme value in the series. It is affected by the sampling fluctuation. I hope it is clear to all of you.